Hey everybody. I wanted to get back to the Wander and talk a little bit about the stuff that I didn't mention in the previous video, and that is the Flask setup, the defensive setup, and the endgame wand. So let's start with the Flask. Since this is a crit character and you will crit very, very often, the obvious choice is to go for Surgeon's Flask, because you recharge your Flask when you get critical strikes, and this will help a lot to keep your Flask charges up even if you're not killing enemies, let's say in a boss fight. And right now I'm running 2 life Flasks. Probably I will swap out one for a resist depending on the map I'm doing, if there's some resist penalties or something. Then the Quicksilver with Curse Immunity, and then a Granite that has currently just stun recovery. I'm not using the obvious choice of running a Granite of Iron Skin, because yeah, the Iron Skin basically improves your existing armor plus the armor from the Granite, but if you don't have any armor, it doesn't do very much. And that's a little bit of a weak point for this build, so I'm having just 5% physical damage reduction and only 15% chance to evade, so there's not a lot to do here, and the passives require you to kind of work with something else. I intend to go for block here, so that's why I'm starting to pick up all the block nodes at the tree, and also using Tempest Shield to get an additional 4% block chance. And then the Granite is basically for the situations where you get a lot of small physical hits and you can mitigate some of them, and then the stun recovery isn't too bad. And eventually, if I manage to get a better chest that has a little bit more energy shield, since I'm Eldritch Battery, this will go into my mana pool, and then I want to run a Arctic Armor at least level 1, which gives me then a little bit more physical resistance. In addition to that, in the Cast on Damage Taken setup, I'm using Enduring Cry, and together with Decoy Totem and Enfeeble. Enduring Cry is a little bit dangerous because you pull all the mobs to you, but you boost your elemental resistances and also your physical resistances, and Decoy Totem will then take over and taunt all the monsters, while Enfeeble reduces the damage that the monsters deal to you, and also they don't hit you that often because they lose a little bit of accuracy rating. So much for the defenses. Then for the endgame wand, I've been playing with I think it was this wand for a very, very long time. That's a wand I crafted basically just by picking up imbued wands. You just pick up 3 of them, and when you have them, you bring them all up to 20 quality, then you alch one of them. If you're happy with it, you keep it. If you're not happy with it, you transmute the other wand, and then you sell all 3 of them, because a white, a magic, and a rare wand with 20% quality give you back an Orb of Alchemy, and that's a way to save your alchs. And I managed to craft those 2 wands, and they work really well for farming piety and also in maps. And the damage I got off those wands was around 3.5k, and that's okay, but it's not optimal. And if you look at the PoE_XYZ, if you look for wands that have high elemental damage, it's actually quite difficult to get some that are good and affordable, and since this is a budget build, you probably don't want to pay 12 or 15 Exalteds to get a good wand. You can get lucky. Here's one, for example, that just costs 17 chaos, just 17 chaos, and it's actually not much of a difference in the elemental DPS here, but still you have to be very lucky here. It continues with 10 Exalts, then you have 30 chaos, 17 chaos again. That's good, but here you see it's a lot less elemental DPS. And also to find something that's really useful for your build, for example, accuracy rating, that's good. Mana regeneration would be awesome. Then increased crit chance would be very good, and all the stuff that you can find costs probably more than 1 Exalt. So maybe you get lucky, maybe you can find a really good deal. For example, I saw something for 1 chaos here, not bad. But what is actually a little bit better and a bit more consistent is the Piscator's Vigil that they introduced recently, because this removes all the physical damage that you don't need anyway. You have accuracy rating, you have decent attack speed, and you have increased crit, and you have increased elemental damage. I'm not sure what the range of the roll is, but it's around 100%. This one has 115. And this awesome wand also costs, like, you can get it for 1 exalt, then 35 chaos. I've also seen one for 30 chaos somewhere, 34. So this is something you can work towards. If you're farming piety and then doing the chaos recipe, or maybe you're lucky with a drop and you can sell it, then you will get this exalt. And it's not low budget anymore, because farming for an exalt takes some time, but eventually you will get it. And this boosts your damage by a lot. So just by equipping this wand, my damage went up from 3.5k to 5.5k. So what I want to do now is just get into a map and show how easy it is with a setup to basically smash monsters, to absolutely smash them. Another gem that I use is, or basically what helps me now is my single target. I adjusted this a little bit. I'm still using Frenzy to get my charges now with faster attacks, Life Leech and Power Charge and Critical. This is really good for fighting rares and bosses, because you can keep your power charges up. It's a little bit of waste in DPS, because usually your single target should be more potent than your AoE in terms of damage, but right now in the early maps I think it's good. So as you see, the difference is not too much, and it's better to keep your frenzy charges up, your power charges up, instead of doing a little bit more damage for 12 seconds. And I also use Vaal Power Siphon together with Chain and Weapon Elemental damage for situations where we have a lot of monsters, because this increases your clear speed by a lot. So I just need to find a good pack to also demonstrate the Vaal Power Siphon. Oh, that's good. There we have Elemental Reflect, so we can see what we expect there. Nice to see. Nothing much. Yeah, this is actually a rare monster. I think it was 37% increased, more rare monsters or something like that. Pretty good. Yeah. And as you can see, I'm using my single target not to deal damage, but basically to help keep my power charges up. If there's a rare that takes a little bit longer to kill, which is usually the case with energy shield mobs or with life regeneration. Is that guy desynced? No, I'm just not hitting him. It's usually one hit to shock them, and then the next one kills them. And then occasionally you have your Vaal Power Siphon that charges up really quickly. That is a pretty good example for a case where your frenzy is useful. Oh, there we go. There's this guy. But absolutely destroying stuff. I just realized I'm not using Tempest Shield at the moment. One more, and get wrecked. I'm just loving Vaal Power Siphon. Obviously, Vaal Power Siphon is also very, very good for those boxes. Alright, I actually didn't want to activate it here. Damn, and it was freezes when activated. I hate it when that happens. God damn it. But well. There's the blacksmith. The sleep slam hurts a bit. But other than that, super easy mode. And rip. As you can see, no problem at all. Nothing useful either. Yep. So, that's that. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in game.